Low motivation equals failure. Is it though? If I'm not excited, it means that it's not for me. Or if I stopped for a few days, it's over. If I don't feel like it, there's no point in trying. I gave you a few examples of things that pops in our heads when we are trying to learn English. But if we follow the same logic in other areas of our lives, maybe if I do badly on a college exam, does that mean that I should drop out? Or if I'm struggling with a new job, does that mean I should quit? Can you see that we often act irrationally when it comes to motivation? But today I would like to help you to come back to the rhythm and keep going even when the urge to give up shows up. Hello friends, welcome to Christian Productivity channel. I am Luciana Sampaio. If we think about motivation works like a wave, not a straight line. It goes up and down, up again, and that's it. That's how it works. I need to tell you that your brain doesn't keep the same energy level all the time. So you can see that some days you are very excited. You want to learn more. You want to try new things. On those days, motivation shows up easily. But there are also days that you are feeling tired, you are feeling stressed, frustrated, that you need to deal with a lot of problems, and of course that your motivation won't be as the day before. It's like your brain naturally lowers the energy for activities that require effort, like studying English. This is not the lack of willpower, it's biology. Motivation is not constant. Some days you want to learn everything, but some days you don't want to do anything. That's normal. The problem is not losing motivation. The problem is believing that this means failure. It doesn't. It means you need to adjust your path. I consider myself a very productive person. I dedicate myself a lot in my work, and not only that, but when I decided to study something, of course that I will dedicate myself to this as well. When it comes to creating videos, for example, there are days that I'm extremely productive and I'm able to finish everything that I put it in my schedule. But on the other hand, there are days that it's really hard to stay focused and I can't do half of the things that I planned for the day. And when we are talking about this subject, there are two main dangers. Let me talk with you about them right now. You can start forcing yourself to do everything that you planned that are in your schedule because you think, okay, I need to solve everything today because tomorrow I won't have time. You start forcing yourself working hard, and this is a problem because in the end you're gonna study less, or you're gonna study a lot and you're not gonna keep this knowledge in your head. So this is a big problem. However, you can also go to the opposite extreme and you can let yourself being too flexible and letting yourself have more lazy days than productive ones. And when you allow laziness to take over, of course that this is gonna prevent you from learning English. The idea is to find balance. Set your study days and truly commit to the minutes you set aside for English, but at the same time understand that you won't always feel extremely motivated. So on difficult days, slow down the pace. A few months ago, I didn't allow myself any lazy days. I was always trying to be as much as productive as I could. I don't know if this sentence is right, but honestly, I used to work so much and I didn't have a day off. It was crazy, okay? It was absolutely insane. But then I discovered a health condition that makes me very sleepy, especially after lunch. I get very sleepy. So that's why it's complicated for me trying to focus after a meal, for example. Especially in the afternoon, it's really hard. After I started treating this health condition, everything changed. And even though I have days that are difficult, now it feels much better. So I guess that the first step in this video is that you need to understand that maybe you don't have motivation every single day because there is something wrong with your health. Make sure your health is in order and that you have all the vitamins and minerals your body needs to function properly. As I said, when I discovered this, everything changed because before I used to think that I was such a lazy person, but actually there was something wrong with my health. So the thing is that you need to understand your limits. You need to see if everything is all right with your health. And by seeing your limits, you also need to push yourself in a healthy way to start or to keep studying English. Sleep quality, a healthy routine, stress, and hormonal changes are external and internal factors that influence your motivation. Notice that none of this has anything to do with English itself. I mentioned health earlier, and of course that you need to check with your doctor if you are 100% and if you can dedicate 100% in your work or in your study. But I need you to realize that taking care of your health is not only going to the doctor or something. You need to try to think about other things, like how is your sleep? Are you sleeping the amount of time that you need to really rest and to really be able to make knowledge stay in your mind? If you've been going to bed late and waking up early, no wonder you feel so unmotivated. And not only that, I should ask you, how is your daily routine? Because if you feel stressed in your daily routine, if you do so much things, if you don't have a silent moment to consolidate what you're learning, it doesn't make any sense, you know? Does your routine stress you out more than it calms you down? Of course, that will affect your motivation. So as you can see, there's a lot of things, several things that you need to analyze and organize to really be motivated to keep learning English. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna go to the doctor and take a few medications and that's it. No, you need to see your entire life and the things that is probably affecting your motivation and try to deal with all of those things. Sometimes you're probably thinking that you are tired of English itself, but that's not it. You're probably tired of the way that you're studying English. The brain gets used to routines. Everything becomes automatic. And what once feel interesting, it starts to feel heavy. Then comes the false feeling that you lost interest. But that's not it. You only lost the novelty. The solution that I can bring you here is that you need to change the environment before you change the goal. So before you change the goal of, okay, I'm gonna stop restudying English because this is not for me, I'm not meant to be fluent in English or whatever. Before you think like this, you need to try to change the environment. And here are ways to do this. First one, you need to change the room. Like if you've been studying English for years in your room, try to change and study in the kitchen or studying in the living room. Or if you can, find a library that is in your neighborhood and you can study there. Try changing the environment any way you can. Not only that, but you can change the format. I already said this a few videos back, but you need to try to study in different ways, even though you're gonna use the same material. You can use your writing, you can listen more, you can try to take the opportunities to speak. If you only watch videos, you can try reading. There's a lot of ways to do this and you can try it out. Some other options are switching apps. If you are very used to using Duolingo, you can change to apps like English Center. Basically, changing the app will be something new to your brain, and this is gonna be good as well. Some other option in here is to change the energy of your study session. Do 5 minutes of English while getting some sunlight. Put on a calm playlist. Study with tea or candle. I love scented candles, so using it to study, it makes the environment completely different and is very pleasant for me. I've been studying and working from home for years now, and there's something that always helped me a lot. That is Pomodoro method. I use Pomodoro for literally everything, and it's based on the idea of having a non-negotiable focus period and break period. Usually I use the strategy Pomodoro 50/10, which means that I will be focusing on my work for 50 minutes and then break will be 10 minutes. To do this, I simply search on YouTube, study with me, 3 hours, Pomodoro 50/10. In other words, you just need to type the total time that you intend to work. So if you want to study English for 2 hours, you can type study with me 2 hours, Pomodoro 50/10. But if you are in the beginner level of using this technique, there's a tip that is very important, that is using Pomodoro 25/5. This means that you will focus for 25 minutes and your break will be 5 minutes. Ideally, your break shouldn't be spent with your face buried in your phone scrolling through Instagram, but instead looking at the view from your room, going to the bathroom, grabbing something to eat, talking to someone special. I can't put it into words how much Pomodoro helped me to develop my English or to develop any habit that I have today of working a lot or studying a lot. Because the moment I search for one of those videos, instantly my brain understands that I need to start working really hard. If you dedicate 1 month or at least 1 week in studying with Pomodoro method, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. We always look at other people who achieved financial independence faster, bought their house, built their family, and with English is no different. We always look at someone who become fluent more quickly and compare our progress to theirs, which make us want to give up instantly. Stop looking to others and start focusing on your development, because that will make a huge difference. This was the video. I thank you so much for watching. I see you in the next one, and remember, you are loved. Bye!